Welcome back to Socialized Living. My name is Sosha, and today I'll be showing you the process of prepping type 4C low porosity hair for an extended protective style. To prep the braiding hair, I'm using 2 strands cut in half and partially overlapped to create a medium-sized twist. I'm measuring 11.5 inches from the ends of the overlap braiding hair to find the center point and tying that off with a piece of weaving thread. Once I've created one of these, I use it as a visual guide to find the center point as well as the appropriate length to prep the remaining hairs. These will be used to create the majority of the twists on her head, while I'll use a single strand to create the twists for the perimeter or edges to minimize the amount of weight and tension in that area. I chose to make these braids only half an inch longer than my daughter's natural hair, as the goal is not to add length but rather to add volume and weight for ease of style. To prep my daughter's natural hair, I wash and then apply deep conditioner and have her sit under the dryer for 15 to 20 minutes. Then I thoroughly detangle her hair while the deep conditioner is still in it. After rinsing out the deep conditioner, I thoroughly saturate each section with a combination of Aphogie's Pro Vitamin Leave-In Conditioner, TGIN's Creamy Leave-In Conditioner, as well as homemade castor oil. I repeat this process throughout her whole head, making sure that each section is fully saturated and detangled. Then I apply the plastic cap and have her sit under the dryer for another 10 to 15 minutes. Now this may seem like overkill, but my daughter has extremely dry, low porosity hair, and it takes a lot of TLC to get the products to actually penetrate her hair and not just sit on top. When I remove the plastic cap, I can immediately feel the difference. My daughter's hair is nice and supple from the 2 leave-in conditioners we've added and is thoroughly sealed with the heavier castor oil. Now there are countless videos all over YouTube on how to install 2-strand twists using Marley hair, so I'm not going to give you a play-by-play of how I'm doing this. It is important to note that as I'm working my way up and her hair is starting to dry, I am re-moisturizing using a solution of TGIN leave-in conditioner and water, as well as applying extra castor oil to the ends as needed. And here's the finished product. Later on, I noticed that one of the braids on one side of her head did not match the other one, so I went back in to swap that out. I also noticed that the ends of this particular hair kept on unraveling, so I'm gonna go ahead and add rubber bands to it to make it a lot neater. Now I know I said I wasn't gonna show a play-by-play of how to install a twist using Marley hair, but since we're redoing this, we might as well. After re-moisturizing that section with leave-in, water, and oil, I part it diagonal and place the Marley hair in the center. And I fold over and twist one side of her hair onto the Marley hair and do the same with the other piece in the opposite direction. Once you notice that you've got a good grip on both of these sections and they're thoroughly twisted in with the Marley hair, then you can start twisting the hair as normal. Now it may seem like I'm pulling on her head, but I promise you my daughter is just as tender-headed as I am, and if there was the minimal amount of force and anything hurt, you would clearly see it on her face. I am very careful not to apply any unnecessary tension to her edges. As I'm twisting, you'll notice that I'm doing my very best to cover her hair with the Marley hair within the twist. The goal is to have the least amount of her natural hair exposed. When I get to the bottom of the twist, I'm going to tuck the ends and secure it with a rubber band. The last thing I'm going to do is go through all of her head and cut out any of the excess Marley hair that's peeking through the twist. And I'm being very careful with this process. I did make sure that I tucked her hair away, and I'm also feeling to make sure that this is the synthetic hair versus her own natural hair before I cut. I'm doing this to remove any of the hair that's sticking out from where the two strands of Marley hair overlapped in this twist. I do this to make sure that the hair doesn't create any unnecessary frizz as it ages. Now that we're done, she can be free, happy for an extended period of time and unbothered by me trying to comb her hair on the daily. This is what it looks like after about a month of wear and a couple of washes. There's growth and the expected amount of frizz and lint, but there's absolutely no damage. This here is the moment of truth. When I go to remove these twists, I simply cut off the rubber band, then unravel the twist by twisting it in the opposite direction than how I installed it. And when we get to the root, we do the exact same thing where you are unraveling each section that was twisted onto the Marley hair carefully to avoid any hair being snagged from her roots. As you can see, since her ends were properly tucked into the Marley hair, it's not dry and brittle. In fact, it's barely even frizzy. Upon further inspection, the hair is even just as moisturized and soft as when we install the twists. As you can see, with these steps, I managed to keep hair that is usually super dry, unruly, and it's hard to accept, let alone keep moisture, super hydrated throughout the duration of the protective style. If you have low porosity hair, deep conditioning with heat is your friend. Heat opens the cuticle so that all of the products, nutrients, and goodness that you're adding actually penetrates the hair. Once your hair is clean, then you can reapply leave-in and oils, focusing on the areas where you applied shampoo, then sitting under the dryer using a plastic cap for about 10 to 15 minutes to replenish the moisture. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and also click on the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye!